Kia ora koutou, ko Emma tōku ingoa, I tipu aki o ki Inanani. Ko Tauranga moana tōku kaina inaene, he kaiwhakaora nana hau aho. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Hello everyone, my name is Emma and I'm an occupational therapist originally from the UK but now living in Tauranga. I have been asked to put together this presentation to explain what occupational therapy is and how it may be of benefit to people living with long-term chronic health conditions. I will cover some information about the history of occupational therapy and how it may be of use, including some basic equipment and strategies to help manage fatigue and activity, particularly on those more challenging days. I will also provide information about how to access occupational therapy services. Occupational therapy evolved from the moral treatment movement arising in the 18th century, when people with physical and mental health illnesses were isolated from society and not treated well. The movement implored compassion and consideration, recognizing that everyone had the right to be treated with kindness. They acknowledged people have an innate need for doing and live happier lives when they have productive involvement in activities. Foundations of occupational therapy grew to encompass the arts and crafts movement. Still now, occupational therapy uses habit training, exercise, work, music, play, and daily activities to restore and maintain health. Occupational therapists will work with you based on your wants and needs, finding an alternate way of doing things to help maximize quality of life in a meaningful way. We are different from other disciplines in that we consider the whole person during our assessments, focusing not just on an injury or condition, but how that impacts your ability to engage and interact within different environments in the context of your daily life. We might look at how you think and how that impacts your ability to engage in the community, any physical difficulties that you might have, and how that impacts your ability to look after yourself, including basic items like dressing. We look at the cultural and natural supports that can make a difference to how your daily life looks. Occupational therapists can support with routine planning, helping you manage your energy levels through prioritization of tasks and activities. We can help source equipment and provide training on safe and proper use, both to you, your family or whānau, and care team. We might make suggestions to alter the way you live and function safely in your home. This may include minor changes or referral for more complex housing modifications. We may teach dressing techniques and different ways of completing tasks to promote safety and independence. Fatigue management strategies are a large part of our work, supporting people to be able to do what is important to them through managing their energy accordingly. This may mean learning to prioritize what you have to do over what you want to do, and as your tolerance builds in managing your energy, adding in more of what you want to do. We will work with you to look at different ways of completing tasks to conserve energy, or changing the way your space is organized to support flow, and teach you how to pace yourself throughout the day or week to enable you to do what really matters to you. Occupational therapists also support clients through advocacy. Depending on your contract or program, this may mean connecting you with community and support groups, encouraging you to utilize the people around you, family and friends or community group liaisons to support appointment attendance. You may find occupational therapists working in hospitals, inpatient, outpatient and community settings, but also in schools, prisons, private companies and even in the council, helping to design accessible community spaces, all combining evidence-based art and science to help people improve their functioning and overall quality of life. Equipment can be expensive, but it has its use in supporting independence and daily functioning. It is worth shopping around and talking to your local mobility or equipment centre. Don't underestimate the use of dollar stores, Kmart or chemists, but knowledge and advice will come from the specialist companies, and sometimes buying cheap means buying twice. My advice would be get to know your local supplier. If it's something you need help with or want to know how it works, ask the questions. Sometimes there is opportunity to hire or purchase new or second-hand equipment, which is particularly useful if you are going to be travelling. Some companies have schemes with different providers, such as the Mobility Centre and their Get This, Get That voucher scheme with Cerebral Palsy New Zealand. Just ask. Dressing is one area people like to feel independent. Other than choosing easy, loose-fitting clothing, there are some basic aids that can be purchased either by yourself or if you meet criteria for Te Whatu Ora or ACC funds and are working with a clinician under specific contracts. Long or adapted handles of everyday items can help with grip or reaching. Sock aids and grabbers are becoming more easily accessible in shops like Chemist Warehouse or Mitre 10. Feeding and meal preparation is another area of significance for a lot of clients, as this is our social connection for a lot of people. Online stores and mobility shops are your best bet for these. Suggestions include bendable cutlery to enable self-feeding with restricted range of movement, plate cuffs to stop food sliding off. Kettle tippers reduce the weight of lifting and are a safe option for using boiling water with reduced muscle strength or tremors. There are specific chopping boards, left-handed squeeze scissors and adapted utensils. The list really does go on. Occupational therapists usually come into their own here, as we like to think outside the box. For example, I have used plumber's foam to increase the size of toothbrushes, making gripping easier for one client. Occupational therapists can help with returning to work. This will require liaison with you, your GP, and your potential or existing employer. If you are returning to an existing job, a meeting with you and your employer will happen to agree on a graduated plan that works for both you and for them. We will then provide ongoing monitoring until a point where you are happy to continue on your own. If it requires a new employer and a new job, we may refer you to our Back to Work vocational consultant, where a meeting with you and any potential employers will happen, and again the same process of a graduated return, ongoing monitoring and then discharge. This will be dependent on GP medical clearance. Accessing occupational therapy services is dependent on your condition. How and when diagnosis occurs can determine which pathway of health services you are eligible for. ACC support is usually provided following accidental injury or illness following medical complication. Your GP will refer you for ACC services if you meet criteria. GPs may also refer to Te Whatu Ora, Health New Zealand, or it is my understanding you can self-refer through online applications. You will then be contacted based on priority and wait times. Self-funding private clients can contact Body in Motion directly, and we will talk with you to discuss your needs and agree a package of care accordingly. Here is a quick summary of the main takeaway points. Private clients with Body in Motion will be negotiated on a case-by-case basis. If packages do need to be increased, clinicians will provide notice and a rationale as to why this is. Some medical suppliers and equipment providers have schemes for hiring, trialling, or purchasing equipment. Have the conversation and just ask the questions. ACC and Te Whatu Ora Health New Zealand clients may be provided a range of equipment on loan or permanently through your occupational therapist. However, this is based on an assessment and will be contract dependent. I hope this has been helpful for you. Thank you for letting me be part of your evening. Here at Body in Motion, we have clinics spread across Tauranga and into the Waikato. Reach out and talk to us about your needs. We are here to help. Again, thank you and enjoy your evening, everyone.